Hi everyone, just wanted to quickly show you all how I zigzag slip stitch my pillow cover together for the Hygge Burst Pillow Pattern. All of the links are available in the description box below for you. For this tutorial I'm going to be using the same yarn that's in the pattern, so it's the WeCrochet or Knit Picks Wool of the Andes Tweed in the color Picket Fence, and I'm going to be using my 5mm hook. There it is. Okay, so these are the exact same colors that the pattern calls for, and I'm just going to seam it together using this background color here. You can choose a different color if you'd like. You know, sometimes I like to make the seam a different color, but for this one I'm just going to do the same because the zigzag slip stitch actually ends up looking just like how we did the join, so it's going to have this braided effect, and so I just, for consistency's sake, went with the background color, which was Picket Fence. So I have my pillow panel here and I've turned it into a square. So what you have to do is you have to lay it with the wrong side facing up. Okay, so these are the backs of all my sunbursts, and we're going to fold in all of the corners. Okay, I know you don't see the entire pillow panel on the screen here, but there we have it. Okay, we've created our little square. So now I'm going to turn it on its side or on its diagonal, and I'm going to seam from over here all the way across, and then I'll do the exact same over here, stopping about here, and then I'm going to stuff in my pillow and then continue seaming and fasten off weaving all my ends. So I just wanted to show how I do that. So I'm going to insert my hook. If you take a look, once you get all your stitches lined up here, because it's important that they are lined up, if you take a look, you're going to be folding this cluster in half. Okay, so you want to insert, if you take a look at it, it's actually one of those clusters of 4 because it's where 2 squares are joined. So you've got 2 double crochet, 2 double crochet. You want to insert your hook in this one here. Okay, so that's the inside stitch, and we're just going to attach our yarn. So we're going to start with a slip knot. Well, can't talk. On the end of our hook. Okay. And you're just going to pull it through and attach your yarn. Now, the stitch right beside it, we're going to slip stitch into. So we're going to, oops, wait for it. So we are going to start with this first one on the other side from front to back, okay, and just slip stitch. Now over here, I'm going to do the next one, and I'm going to work over this tail as well. So I'm going to go into this one with a slip stitch. And then over here, instead of working into the top of this one, I'm just going to go into the space because it keeps the stitches nice and tight looking. I like to have a really tight panel, so my stitches get quite stretched out, and it just looks a little bit neater if I go into the space between the clusters instead of into that top stitch. The exact same way that I go in between when I'm joining my squares, instead of going into that last stitch into the top of it, I just go into the space. Okay, so we've done on this side. Now we go over to this side and again into that space, and then we just keep going. Okay, one side, then the other side. One side, then the other side. All you're doing is slip stitching. And getting snipped, apparently. Oh dear. There we go. Okay, one side, then the other side. One side, then the other side. And I like to work over the tail just so that I don't have to sew it in afterwards. Okay, so I'm just going to pull back and let you see how that comes along. Okay, so all we're going to do is all the way up the side here, and then we're going to hop over and do all the way along to the end. So I'll do a few more, and then I'll meet you back at the center so that you know exactly how to do that jump over. Okay, so one side, other side, one side, other side, and we'll meet you back. Okay, so I'm back at my corner here, and I've done this cluster on this side. So now I work into my corner over here, work into my corner over here, okay? And then back over into this corner, this diagonal corner. Okay, and then into this corner space. Remember to keep that yarn behind your work. And then we're just gonna go top of this one. And you keep going. Okay, so you go all the way to the end here and then fasten off, and we'll meet you back when it's time to seam up the other side. Hi everyone. So I've gone ahead and I finished off seaming together my one side, okay, my one diagonal here. I didn't sew on my end yet, and then I went and I joined my yarn down here in the corner, and I went ahead all the way to my center here. So you start this side exactly the same way that you did the other, okay, and then you work all the way to your center. And once you're at your center, again, you do it just pretty much like before. Okay, so I'm on this side here. I'm on my right side, or on my right square. And I'm going to, or sorry, no, I'm not. I take it back. I'm on my left square, actually. So I zigzag slip stitched into this one. And now I'm going to go into my diagonal corner. Okay, so I just hop over that corner join and zigzag slip stitch, okay, into my adjacent corner, and then we just carry on just like we were doing before, okay, back and forth, one side, the other side. And so when you pull back, you have a nice tight corner join here, okay. I'm going to do about an inch or two more, so I'll stop probably around here, and then I will throw a stitch marker in here in my loop so that I don't pull all of my seam out as I'm stuffing my pillow into the panel here. So I'll go for another inch or two, put a stitch marker or a bobby pin, or tie a piece of yarn, just something so that you don't lose that loop, because it is quite a tight panel. So you're going to be jamming an 18-inch pillow in here, so it gets a little tight. So once you get all of your corners sorted and everything's looking beautiful and in the correct spot, then you continue seaming up till the end, and you fasten off and sew in your ends. So I'm not going to do that now because struggling with a pillow on camera is no fun. You guys won't see much. You might hear a few curses, but I will spare you the agony and let you have fun doing that on your own. And then I will seam up my pillow. So I hope this tutorial was a little bit helpful. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.